everyone, today with this group we will discuss what lesson inside the Unit 7 to be entitled Online Activity and the Construction of Identities. Overview. This unit can help you identify some of the most critical and relevant principles in online activity and identity building, particularly in mediated communication and its impact on personal relations. So, this unit will help us identify some of the most critical and relevant in online activity, and we can learn and identify building specifically in mediated communication, also its impact on personal relations. Learning objectives. At the end of the unit, we are expected to first differentiate between online identities and offline identities. Second, identify various ways of communicating in an online environment. And lastly, describe ways to properly communicate an online setting. To begin, social media site has been rapidly adopted by the people and it worldwide used as a new communication tools and a new way of socializing through using social media sites. We can express our feelings, sharing our interests, and also follow the person our page which we like. However, did you realize that this online behavior are giving great impact to the concept of identity? Or did you know that your social media online newsfeed does not quite measure of your friend's real identity through his or her status updates? How do you successfully communicate online? Despite popular belief, your effectiveness as an online communicator relies on your knowledge regarding computers or the internet and or more about your message production from VII. In a word of fuel by text messages and emails, it's important to know how we can improve the effectiveness of your computer-mediated communication, or CMC for short. VII states that there are 4 components to establishing your skills, and the first is attentiveness. Attentiveness means showing appropriate concern and catering to the uniqueness of the individual you communicate within. Facebook messages that are direct to a specific individual through a specific Facebook connection and receive much more positively than a general or the impersonal broadcast. Implementing the language and custom of a specific community also works to solidify your reception within that group. Violating this norm could you have your message ignored or lead to your removal from the online community. It means that private message is more effectively than positively accepted than to the general using language and traditions of the target community also strengthen your acceptance there. If you break these rules, your communication can be ignored or you might be kicked out of the online community. We must always remember the saying, think before you click.
Interaction management. Help to understand how and when to open and close topic and CMC, and what sort of medium you should use. For instance, post of message. Board receive more the response with it the topic and evolve topics. Centered question. Timing is also important. Are you respond quickly enough and with enough time to craft a well-touched and response? Frequency of message and medium of choice should follow to norm. Sending one will touch out message versus 20 message and several comment on post is far better received.
Expressiveness concerns how articulate and pleasing you are within your CMC. Those who can respond and engage rapidly and expressively generally considered to be more competent online. For example, speaking, gesturing, writing, facial expressions, and vocalizations are all variations of expressive language. What are the characteristics of expressive communication? Expressive thrive on vision and focus on the big picture. As a result, these individuals are seen as the ideas people who tend to the living, the planning, and details for others to handle. Those with this style are creative, optimistic, and enthusiastic. Number 4. Your composure. Your composure is a measure of how skilled you are at expressing yourself online. Your composure enables you to communicate to your teams in a clear, timely way, provide direction, and enable to move more quickly to address issues. You are helping others to do their best work.
In the age of information and communication, the conveniences and speed of transactions and online social network affect several aspects of our life. Besides traditional desktop computers, a variety of modern devices such as laptops, tablets, and mobile phones can be used to access leading online social network sites. Online social networking sites such as Facebook, MySpace, and Google address communication needs. Consequently, the sites are used for various purposes, including education. Also, learning network building can be enhanced based on the fact that students are already using the online social network, which could create academic discussion and criticism among tertiary students using the site's discussion tools. Today, you can text anyone across the globe as long as you have an internet connection. This transformation has not only been brought about by WhatsApp, but also Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. The importance of social media and communication is a constant topic of discussions. Online communication has brought information to people and audiences that previously could not be reached. It has increased awareness among people about what is happening in the other parts of the world. Online social network sites such as Google Classroom and Zoom help us especially about learning of students. This pandemic affect the several aspects of our life. We can go outside and we can have face-to-face classes, but with the help of online social networking, we can reach our family or we can attend to our class using this kind of network.
Disinhibition. In online communication, where we don't see, hear, or sometimes even know the target of our remarks, the tendency to transmit uncensored messages can be especially significant. A growing body of research shows that when using mediated channels, communicators are often critically more direct than face-to-face contact. Communicators sometimes take disinhibition to the extreme, and even vicious emails, text messages, and website posts blast off angry. The common expression for such outbursts is blaming.
It means that disinhibition, sooner or later, most of us speak before we think, blurting out remarks that embarrass ourselves offend others. The tendency to transmit uncensored messages can be specifically great in online communication, where we don't see, hear, or sometimes even know the target of our remarks. Online communicators volunteer personal information that they would prefer to keep confidential from at least some receivers. Consider the example of social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. A quick scan of home's page there shows that many users post text and image about themselves that could prove embarrassing in some contexts. A second form of distribution is increased expressiveness. A growing body of research shows that communicators are more direct often in a critical way using mediated channels than in face-to-face contact. Sometimes, communicators take distribution to take extreme blasting angry, even vicious emails, text messages, and website posting. The common term for these outbursts is blaming. Here's the example of distribution.
That's how, no! So now, you're making me look like a liar? So I'm a liar. So you're telling me I'm a liar. I'm a liar? I'm a liar. Answer me, I'm a liar. Sorry po, sorry. That's how you say sorry. If I say sorry ate, sorry. Tanggap mo yun? You really shouted at me. Ate, may pinag-aaralan akong tao. Ginanon mo ako, I'm just returning the favor. No, no, no. Alam mo paano mo ako tinanong? Paano mo ako tinanong? Sabi mo, ate, ano problema mo? Ay! Oh my God, kuya, she's a liar! Oh my God, you're a friggin' liar, man!
On November 14, 2012, an ugly confrontation between a lady guard and a lady passenger in LRT2 Santolan Station went viral on a different social media platform. The irate train commuter is Paulo Jamie Salvosa, also tagged a liar by the netizen. She was repeatedly berating on the lady guard, identified as Sharon May Casillas, in an altercation that led to cyberbullying by the netizen on Salvosa. She became the target of memes and parody videos that make fun of her or demonize her. Another train commuter uploaded Salvosa's video and it uncontrollably spread like wildfire. Her situation has shown the ugly side of social media and the distribution of social media or online communication as tool for bullying rather than healthy discussion, published by Yango et al. 2018. We can snap judgment about people even we don't fully understand their circumstances. Other people who watch the 1-minute clip said, "You can always make your point but never humiliated people. Edukada pang squatter naman ugali mo." Some internet users use social media to voice their disappointment with the student's handling of the issue while she received a criticism from the majority of people internet users. Some people felt sorry for her. "I don't commend you because I didn't see the complete scenario, but I believe in the guard was at fault," some commented. Social media has evolved into a bullying tools, and even if we don't know the whole story, it is still worse than a face-to-face contact since so many people criticize you there.
Permanence. Apart from common decency, their durability is the risk of hostile e-messages or any inappropriate mediate messages. Blurring out a private thought or lashing out in person may be bad enough, but your indiscretion is not permanently recorded. Permanence of communication means which allow the safe communication between the contracting parties without distorting the information and data. By contrast, a regrettable text message, email, or web posting can be archived virtually forever. It can be recovered and transmitted in ways that only in your worst dream can be imagined. The best advice is to take the same approach with in-person mediate messages. Think twice before you say something you might regret later.
Permanence means common decency aside the risk of hostile e-messages or any inappropriate mediated messages is their permanence. It can be bad enough to blurt out a private thought or lash out in a person, but at least there is no permanent record of your indiscretion. By contrast, a regrettable text message, email, or web posting can be archived virtually forever. Even worse, it can be retrieved and forwarded in a ways that can only be imagined in your worst dreams. The best advice then is to take the same approach with mediated messages that you do in person. Think twice before saying something you may regret later. Whether we realize it or not, the concept of identity which we are developing with the use of social media sites does not really reflect the reality of us. We should know what ways we should construct our identity in social media. We should construct an identity that is either completely true to ourselves or in fact a different identity that we may project to the outside world. In the conclusion, we just need to do is to begin to understand that identity construction in social media site is not a bad thing. Therefore, we should be wise while sharing emotion, posting information, and uploading photos or videos in social media sites that would affect others' perception toward you, and it's also have the implication on your identity and constructions. That's all. Thank you for listening.